right? And so when it comes to building out a profitable business or building out this business and charging for the service, right? The transformation really, depending on what your end result that you're giving to your client. How do you come up with these prices? I always tell people, do not make up prices out of the clear blue sky because you see the person to the right or the left. That is real estate, right? We take these models that we think are going to work. I know in the hair world we do a la carte. That gets super confusing for clients. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's just not even necessary. Then we also will be like, oh, the girl down the block is charging this, so I'm going to undercharge for that. That doesn't work. You don't even know what their bills are. So here's a formula that I give on any platform that I absolutely have the opportunity to speak on. This is a formula that I stand by, which helps me tremendously. When you're formulating your pricing and your structure of your business, when you finally like, oh, I solved this problem, I want you to think of your business in a 4 component, actually a 5 components, right? And so this is how you're going to get to this, right? So you want to start with the profit. And I read this book years ago, The Profit First, and I know it gets confusing, but I found a way that it speaks more true to my audience, and it's very, very simple. So it's your profit plus your business expenses plus your personal expenses plus your taxes equals your service fee. Anything outside of that realm, you're just making up numbers, right? So why did we get in business? If you're transitioning from one career to another career, it has to make sense for you to actually do the business. You don't want to be a slave to the business, because then you'll be finding yourself just taking all money. And you hear the statement, all money's not good money. The reason why it's
Mm-hmm.
not good money, because everything comes with a cost, right? So if I say yes to this person in my program and I know they're not a good fit, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be the problem, right? Because there's a certain type of buyer that your service fee attracts. There's a
Mm-hmm.
certain type. So whatever your service fee is, know that the value has to be significant to match with the expenses that it takes to run a business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to keep you completely separate from being a slave. And I just have to throw this particular statement out. Your business is not your baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is not your baby. It is an asset and a tool to
Mm-hmm.
help you generate wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point, and the blank. So you can love what you do tremendously. I love doing hair, but I had to separate myself. I am going to receive a paycheck. All that money does not belong to me. If I desire for my business to grow and scale, and I have this hard time with people who are building businesses, and like you want to, like you said earlier, delegate. Why, if I am about growing and scaling, if I cannot offer a person a great salary, and because I'm so undercharging and I haven't decided that I want to bring a team on, I don't want anybody working for me if everybody on my is not making 6 figures. Like, that is a standard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have to make sure that my business is generating revenue so that I can afford to pay people what their skill set is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm all about building that. So I always tell people to think about, what is it going to take for you to then get that profit. And so I said 5. I want you to think about the 5th part is, this tool is a wealth, right? This
Mm-hmm.
business is an asset for me to build wealth. I need to have an exit strategy in place. So every single time that you are charging someone, you're only getting a percentage, and that percentage needs to be going to your retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to do everything forever. So your body, especially for hairstylists who might be joining in, for those who are physically behind the chair and you're like, this is how I make my money, I'm good. I just have to simply tell you that your body will only last but so long. If you're not diversifying
Facts.
your income and you're like, I love my clients, your clients don't belong to you. So I'm just going to go there. They do not belong to you. People come, people go, people move, people are up, people are down. You need to understand that this is a business. Whatever your establishment name is, as a business, separate yourself. You are an
Mm.
entity, and you are creating some type of wealth, and your income, and I'm sorry to be like going in, I get very passionate about it,
No, let's go
but your
in.
income is your first way of generating wealth. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not literate in your income and how to actually make it work for you, you're going to always be working like a slave for the rest of your life. That will keep
Mm.
you as a slave to the dollar. So when I'm talking about profitable businesses, what I am teaching you is to fine tune every ounce of your life and your business, because you need a paycheck, and that paycheck should be working for you in your future self. So
Right.
don't be mad at 60. I always say 7 because my middle name is Dominique, y'all. So I'm like, Dominique, I'm getting you set up. I'm getting you set up for the future. You need to be doing. Angelica is doing her part now, but Dominique, when she's 70 and sitting on a yacht and sewing into other people's life, you're gonna be happy. So I was, me and Dominique have a good conversation all the time.
Hmm.
So that's just my little thing that I do.
No, absolutely. I mean, me and Michelle have a good conversation as well. So
Yeah.
it's my middle name. But absolutely, like I love what you said, and I want everybody to understand this. So she was saying that income is your first step towards trying to build that generational wealth. Now, the reason why I love that you said that is because I want to revert back to what you were talking about earlier when we were talking about what the wealthy do versus the working class, right? And how your business should be an asset. Okay. So, when every single book that I read, when we talk about creating wealth, generational wealth, every single book stands behind using a business to open the door, right?
Mhm.
The wealthy have a mindset that this is literally a tool. This is it, right? If it works, it works. If it fails, it fails. As
Yep.
long as it does what I wanted to do for the time that I needed to do it. Okay. And
Mhm.
so that's how we have to approach it. That's why strategically, I set my business up like that. Like strategically, I set my business up to be sold. I'm just gonna be
Mhm.
100% because if I wanna walk away from it, because I'm not doing this for forever. Listen, okay, hairstylists, y'all stand on y'all feet. Listen, my fingers gonna be like this, and I'm having carpal tunnel. I'm have carpal tunnel. Listen, it's not pretty. So
Mhm.
there's life expectancies to every career, right? You
Mhm.
cannot have this notion that you're going to be able to do this forever, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
The retirement age I think is 62 now, but
Mhm.
I don't even want to work. If I'm being honest, I don't even want to work up until 62. Like, if we're being honest, right? And
Mhm.
so strategically, I'm putting things in place so that I don't have to work up until 62, right?
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
and that's where it starts. So when we talk about income, there are two major forms of income. And then I
Mhm.
had a guest last week and she was talking about taxes, like the three different tax buckets. And I was like, girl, yes, I'm going to have to borrow that. But when we
Yes.
talk about income, we have, income that is earned, and then we have that passive income. And so the
Mhm.
thing that the wealthy do is they'll use their businesses, they'll use investments, other tools in order to create passive income for
Mhm.
them, right?
Yeah.
Now, they still do have that earned income, but usually their passive income is much higher because it is taxed much less, right?
Mhm.
And so I had a guest on the show. She was like, your taxes have three buckets, right? You pay now, you pay later, or you don't pay at all. And so,
Mhm.
in order to get, to effectively use those three buckets, like, you have to have a strategy. You have
Mhm.
to plan for this,
Yes.
right? That's why we talk about the power of tax planning. So I'm glad
Mhm.
you brought it all the way home with setting us up for that, because
Yeah.
it's absolutely important. It's absolutely necessary that we start now. I think we
Mm.
get into that mindset that, and I've been here too. Like, I've known people that, they worked for a company 30 years, paid into their pension plan. And it used to be once upon a time that that's all you had to do. But y'all,
Mhm.
prices are going up. There's a thing called inflation, right?
Mhm.
Some pension plans, those are like non existent anymore, because
Facts.
those usually were the first things to go when the company went belly up, right? Like, you got to understand, when a company goes belly up, guess who they pay first? Their debtors. They got to pay that debt
Mhm.
first. They get first dibs. And then the
Mhm.
shareholders. And then guess who? The employees.
Boys.
That's
Yep.
how it works. And
Mhm.
so you cannot, don't let someone else manage your money. You have
Mhm.
to manage your own money. It's your money. Why
Mhm.
would you let someone else manage it, right? And so
Mhm.
I love that you brought that full circle for us, because we definitely do need help in the area of financial literacy and income literacy. So
Hmm.
thank you so much for
Yes.
allowing us. See how we worked in that tax planning in there? I told you we were gonna work it in there. All right,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
so we have a question, I believe. So Samurai is asking, what are some